organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming your way tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
Biking and crashing. See why bike and car collisions are spiking in Iowa City.
Some are calling the weather heading our way an Arctic invasion. I'll tell you when to look out for those wind chill advisories and more coming up.
The Iowa wrestling squad is ready to host the national duels this weekend.
Find out more in sports.
All this coming your way next.
You're watching Daily Iowan TV. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Hannah Thompson.
And I'm Blake Jorgensen. The search for a new University of Iowa president has kicked into full gear. A town hall-style meeting was held last night to hear community voices on expectations for a new president. Some people would say the meeting's effort was a bust. The event only brought 20 people and lasted a total of 12 minutes. Monday afternoon, the Presidential Search Committee also announced that Parker Executive Search of Atlanta will serve as the firm that will help find a new president. The firm's role will be to identify candidates, facilitate interviews, and create a search timeline.
Iowans could soon be seeing higher paychecks. Today, a minimum wage increase bill won preliminary approval in the Iowa Senate. If voted into law, the bill will raise the minimum wage from the current $7.25 to $8.75. A three-member subcommittee made up of 2 Democrats and 1 Republican voted in favor of the increase. The bill will head to the full Senate committee next.
Hawkeye alum and Iowa entrepreneur Ravi Patel announced that he is running for Congress. The 29-year-old is president of the Iowa City-based company Hawkeye Hotels and will run as a Democrat for Iowa's 1st congressional district seat in the House of Representatives. Patel says he's innovated many industries and now it's time for him to innovate politics. Patel is the 2nd Democrat to announce political aspirations, joining Cedar Rapids City Councilor Monica Vernon.
One Iowa City man faces charges after being accused of selling meth near an elementary school. Police arrested 46-year-old Dennis Delaney on February 2nd after the man sold them 1 gram of meth at his house, which sits 1,000 feet away from Iowa City's Longfellow Elementary School. The purchase was controlled by police, and now Delaney faces felony charges for a controlled substance violation and keeping a drug house.
In a college town like Iowa City, seeing bicycles on the road is no surprise. But with a larger population of cyclists comes an increased number of crashes. Nick Fisher has the story.
Bikes, we see them being ridden all over Iowa City, but apparently crashing them occurs here quite often as well. Second to only Polk County, where Des Moines is located, 11% of statewide crashes took place here in Johnson County, and that number has increased in recent years. In 2011, only 17 crashes were reported in Johnson County. But in 2012, that number jumped to 27 and rose again to 38 in 2013. 2014, the number dropped off just a bit to 34, but that number is still double what it was just 3 years prior. But why are there so many crashes in Johnson County when other counties across the state have a much higher population?
And generally, college towns have more bicyclists than the non-college towns. So I would say that's probably the reason that our number is higher, just because we have more people that ride bikes.
And with an increased number of cyclists on the road, Ryan Baker, owner of World of Bikes, says there are a few things riders need to remember.
You know, I think probably the biggest things are riding aware, riding defensively, also act as if they're a vehicle on the road, which they are.
Overall, the number of crashes throughout the state did go down over the past year. Reporting from Iowa City, Nick Fisher, Daily Iowan TV.
Still to come tonight, CY1 exhibit on the UI campus is spotlighting over 150 years of history.
And in sports, the latest in Iowa Hawkeye basketball. Stay tuned, we'll be back with weather right after this.
Can't pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan? Are you worried about how you're going to find out about the latest news in Iowa City and the University of Iowa? Well, look no further. You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage. And you can also read and watch us on your iPad. You can always find current and past Daily Iowan stories at dailyiowan.com. The Daily Iowan is now on TV, online, and in your pocket. If it happens, it's news to us.
Katie, the weather today was pretty weird. It was sunny this morning and then snowed in the afternoon. What's going on?
Well, yeah, we did see a little bit of snow today, and it was pretty cold, and it's not going to get much warmer.
Katie, what are we going to see in the forecast looking ahead?
The cold temperatures today were just a little slice of what's to come. Tomorrow, a wind chill advisory will take effect at 3 a.m. and continue until noon. The wind chill may get down to the -20s with some strong gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Frostbite or hypothermia can occur in as little as 30 minutes in those conditions. So if you're out and about before noon tomorrow, cover your skin and dress in layers. It won't get much warmer at all throughout the day tomorrow, with temps staying in the low single digits. Those winds will die down for Thursday, but there won't be much warmer temperatures until Friday, when we will hit the low 20s again, though it will feel more like the low teens. Saturday, there's a slight chance of snow showers, but they shouldn't amount to much. That's all I have for weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Katie. A Texas judge is making moves to completely block President Obama's executive action to shield about 5 million undocumented immigrants from deportation. U.S. District Judge Andrew Hanen ruled the administration didn't comply with the Administrative Procedure Act, which calls for the White House to afford a longer notification and comment period before taking action. As of now, the action is temporarily blocked. The White House plans to appeal Hanen's decision because they believe it's well within President Obama's legal rights.
Exactly 150 years ago, President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. But that wasn't the only historical occurrence in year 1865. Mary Caldwell has a story on one Iowa school that just turned 150 years old.
Here are a few things you probably didn't know about Iowa's law school. 1. It originated on the top floor of the old Capitol building in the middle of the Pentecrust. 2nd, it is the oldest law school west of the Mississippi. And 3rd, it just turned 150 years old. Noelle Sinclair is the head of the Special Collections Department at the law school and has made it her goal the past couple of years to show others one thing that she finds most interesting about the exhibit.
The stories of all the different people, the stories of the curriculum and the things that happened in the world that affected the law school and how the law school responded. And so I hope that there's enough different things in the exhibit that there'll be something that appeals to everybody, and hopefully people will come and find out something they didn't know about the law school or the university or the people that went here and graduated from here or taught here.
The exhibit is displayed in the Old Capitol Museum and offers visitors pictures, artifacts, and even art pieces that encompass the history of the law school. All of these artifacts are open to the public until August 12th. After that, they will be stored away in the archives of the law school. Reporting from the Old Capitol Museum, this is Mary Caldwell for Daily Iowan TV.
The law school said that they plan on building onto this collection for the next 150 years.
Some good history there. You know who else has some history and tradition? The Iowa wrestling team. Carver Hawkeye Arena will become a meeting place for some of the best teams and wrestlers from around the country.
Absolutely, Blake. Laura Belanda and Taylor Bartz are standing by in the sports studio with even more. Ladies?
Yeah, Hannah, Carver Hawkeye Arena will be rocking this weekend with some of the best, calling Carver Hawkeye home.
But first, we talk basketball.
The Big Ten Conference officially issued a public reprimand to Penn State men's basketball head coach Patrick Chambers for violating the Big Ten sportsmanship policy following Penn State's game against Maryland.
Coach Chambers questioned some of the calls about the officiating, even saying one particular call was the worst he's ever seen.
The Big Ten Conference has fined the institution $10,000 as a result of the violation.
The National Wrestling Duels are right around the corner, and the Hawkeyes are ready for the challenge.
I took a look at the Hawkeyes' first round win in the National Duels on Sunday, and also how the Hawks are preparing for what is to come. The #1 ranked Iowa wrestling team continued their undefeated record on Sunday, February 15th, after their 30-6 victory over Virginia. This will send the Hawkeyes to the quarterfinals of the National Duels being held in Carver Hawkeye Arena. A few new starters stepped up on Sunday against the Cavaliers. At 125, Phil Lowe for Thomas Gilman, who lost 12-6 to start the duel. Alex Meyer from Mike Evans at 174 defeated #6 ranked Blaze Butler at the buzzer 9-8 with added riding time. And at heavyweight, Nathan Burak stepped into Bobby Telford's place to finish the day with an 8-2 victory over #19 ranked Zach Nye. At 149, Brandon Sorensen took a 15-3 score to a pin in the third period over Virginia's former top 20 ranked Gus Sako. And in the highest scoring match of the day, Sammy Brooks at 184 with a 20-7 major decision over Tyler Askey. The Hawks will most likely face Chattanooga in the quarterfinals, but senior Josh Jevis said they'll be ready to face anybody. Teammate Alex Meyer said it doesn't matter who the opponent is, they're going to put on a show. The quarterfinals will take place in Iowa City on Sunday, February 21st at 12 p.m. With the excitement surrounding the national duels, head coach Tom Brand said they're just focused on the next event. This is Laura Belanda with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
It was the Iowa women's gymnastics team that fell to border rival Illinois on Saturday.
It was a close one, but the Fighting Illini were victorious in the end. Hannah Thompson has the recap. Hannah?
The Iowa women's gymnastics team hosted the Fighting Illini this past weekend in Carver Hawkeye Arena for their annual Pink Meet. Though the meet didn't end in favor of Iowa, the Gymhawks set a season-high score and 8 gymnasts set personal bests. Leading the group was all-around competitor senior Sydney Hare, who started strong on the vault and bars, giving her 2 personal records in both events. The vault also gave 4 other Gymhawks their personal bests from the night. Halfway through the meet, the Hawkeyes took to the beam as sophomore Molly Drenth and all-around competitor sophomore Angel Metcalf climbed the ranks to 2nd and 3rd place. Metcalf and Drenth were among the 10 to achieve personal highs, with Metcalf staying within the top 5 throughout the competition. Ending out the beam portion, there was a 3-way tie for 5th place between Illinois' Erin Buchanan, Iowa's Allie Glover, and Metcalf. After the 3rd rotation, the Hawks got off the beam and trailed the Illini by .275 as they headed to the final rotation for the floor competition. The Gymhawks put up a good fight with 3 Hawkeyes in the top 6, but they were not to be bested by Illinois all-arounder Gianna O'Connor, who took home the all-around title. The Hawkeyes ended up just short, falling to Illinois with a score of 196.375, a mere .6 points away from the W. Though the Gymhawks couldn't pull out the win against Illinois, they're preparing for this weekend as they will travel to Denver for a tri-meet against Denver and BYU. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, Hannah Thompson, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Hawkeyes got 3rd in their last tri-meet in early January.
Hawkeye baseball catcher Austin Guzzo has been named the Big Ten Freshman of the Week. After earning his first collegiate start against George Mason, the Ontario, Canada native went 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI.
Defensively, Guzzo threw out 2 potential base stealers and helped the Hawkeyes to secure wins in 2 of their 3 games this past weekend at the Snowbird Baseball Classic in Port Charlotte, Florida.
Guzzo is the first Hawkeye freshman to earn this honor since May of 2012. The Hawks will travel to Houston, Texas to take on Arkansas Little Rock in 2 games over the weekend while also matching up against Missouri State.
That's it for tonight, but be sure to tune in tomorrow as we preview the men's basketball's upcoming game with our courtside show.
We will look at the matchup by the numbers while also hearing from Coach Fran McCaffrey at his weekly press conference. Hannah and Blake, back to you.
Tomorrow morning, make sure to pick up your copy of the Daily Iowan, and headlines read why international students at the UI are studying abroad after they arrive.
And read the responses from downtown Iowa City bars that failed alcohol compliance checks.
Now, would you apply to be stranded in the middle of nowhere? Well, 200,000 people did, and those applicants have been whittled down to 100 people who want to be the first humans to travel to Mars. The kicker is that this is a one-way trip to the Red Planet.
The Mars One mission is a crowd-funded nonprofit looking to send 24 people in 6 crews of 4 to Mars, knowing they will never come back to Earth. The mission is planned to begin in 2024. Hannah, would you go to Mars?
I can honestly say I don't think I would. That's quite a commitment.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to leave my family knowing I'm not coming back.
Me either.
That's all we have tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Make sure to join us tomorrow at the same time.
And stay up to date with breaking news at dailyiowan.com. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great night.
Can't pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan? Are you worried about how you're going to find out about the latest news in Iowa City and the University of Iowa? Well, look no further. You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage. And you can also read and watch us on your iPad. You can always find current and past Daily Iowan stories at dailyiowan.com. The Daily Iowan is now on TV, online, and in your pocket. If it happens, it's news to us.